There's a lot of controversy involving Snoop's gospel album. If Snoop came in and totally converted to the gospel of Jesus Christ, openly professed that Christ is his savior, this Chronicle would have never existed. But the signs and occult symbolisms that surround Snoop shows that he's not in it to win souls. He's not in it to win souls to Christ. But there's an agenda behind what he's doing. And if you are ignorant towards these symbolisms, these occult symbolisms, then you will be sheeple and will fall into the pits of Satan. Matter of fact, the Illuminati, who call themselves the illuminated ones, see you all as sheeple who needs to be controlled and depopulated. Welcome to Snoop Dogg sitting into the church to cause division. Chronicles. To welcome you to part 6 of Snoop Dogg sent into the church to cause division. In our last Chronicles, we really touched on a lot of things. That he began to drop names, and the names that he's dropping are people who's down with the New World agenda. People, don't be surprised that your favorite pastor or your favorite artist or gospel artist is a part of this New Age agenda. It is already prophesied by Christ. It was prophesied by Paul, Peter, that false brethren would come up in the church. It was prophesied by Jesus that false prophets by the dozens will come up into the church. And false prophets will not come sideways. They're going to come boisterous, smart, flamboyant. They're going to come in a way that will deal with your senses. In this Chronicles, we're going to go more into the symbolisms. And you need to understand the symbolisms that surround Snoop Lion, okay, or Snoop Dogg, however you want to call him. And I did a Chronicles recently, and I want you to find it. It's 50 Cent as Satanist. And in that Chronicle, it actually shows the symbolism that surrounds 50 Cent. 50 Cent was shown in the video with Uncle Murder, and Uncle Murder had a similar coat on that Snoop Dogg have on in this video. All except Uncle Murder had the all-seeing eye in the pyramid, and Snoop and 50 Cent had the lightning bolt, which represents Satanism, just like Tony had on at the Stellar Awards on his ring fingers. The lightning bolt would show you that Tony, whether he was sincere when he was a gospel singer, or he was probably sent in by the elite. We don't know about that. But one thing that we do know is that this brother had 2 lightning bolts on his ring fingers, on the left and right hand, which symbolizes Satanism. So we're going to start this Chronicles off like this.
at all.
Okay, it was 4 great performances that I heard. And by the way, Mr. Donnie McClurkin grabbed me by my shoulders and whispered something special in my ear and hugged me and said a prayer with me that was so special. My grandmother was smiling in heaven. So that's what I got out of that Super Bowl of Gospel presentation, and that was the first time that they seen Snoop Dogg in that world. You get what I'm saying? So imagine the Stellar Awards is the biggest one. So, me and Kirk Franklin had a conversation the other night, by the way, on etiquette. Have been, blackballed or bashed or whatever you want to call it, just like me. So this is the greatest project that we could do because it's a bunch of lost souls trying to find our way back home. And the church is supposed to be the most welcoming place in the world. So I'm anxious to see how welcoming they gonna be.
That's funny. You say that because you got
that was my question. Like, were you prepared for the backlash that you were going to receive because of your reputation in hip hop, known as a rap icon, but more of a gangster rapper that's trying to put out a gospel album? Were you prepared for the criticism that was going to come along with this album?
I really didn't care about no criticism because I'm doing this for spiritual reasons. It's not a money-making project. This is a spirit-driven project, so my spirit is in the right place. So for those who have backlash or something to say, their spirit ain't right. Because if your spirit is right, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to welcome somebody like me who came from where I'm coming from and do what I've done. You're going to say, you know what, maybe he can reach people that we can't reach. Maybe he's doing what God's work is really supposed to be done. When I think back to the Bible, I thought the Bible said that Jesus was in the streets, mixing it up with the real. Bringing the real back to the force. You understand me? You understand me? Everybody in church perfect and perfection and no flaws and no none of this. Knock it off, man. But like I say, I'm prepared because I come from the hood and I come from church, so they can't outdo me, and I'm... Because I'm an inspiration. And this is why I continue to do what I do. I've been told this, I've been given this gift, so this is the gift that keeps on giving. What kind of gift would I be if I just was selfish? I got to continue to keep giving, and this is the only way I know is to put things out there that make you think, to make you look at yourself and say, well, why are we throwing rocks at a glass house? Why are we talking about Snoop Dogg? What have we done? Yo, Felly, what up? 2 in the morning while you yawning, I jump out my bed. Lime wire with fire at your motherfucking head. You better duck, left you stuck, bullet struck. Homie, what, nigga, what?
Another name for Satan is Lucifer. Lucifer, which literally translates to light bearer, is more likely to be portrayed as a beautiful angel and light-giving. It is common amongst the secret societies and occultic beliefs for Lucifer to be considered as the source of everything, but especially of all light and of all knowledge. The Illuminati are 100% Luciferian in their philosophy. They sincerely believe that the serpent or the devil is the good guy in the Genesis account, and that Eve was right to eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and that when she did become like God. Albert Pike, one of the founding fathers of Freemasonry, was himself a 33-degree Freemason. He was also a top leader in the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Pike, being Sovereign Grand Commander of the Scottish Rite, was a devout Luciferian. His famous works, Morals and Dogma, in 1871, is still today considered to be the handbook or study guide for the Scottish Rite within Freemasonry. This is a direct quote from Albert Pike's works, Morals and Dogma. Open quote. Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. Lucifer, the son of the morning, is it he who bears the light? Doubt it not. End quote. However, the Bible contradicts this teaching. It exposes Lucifer as being Satan. Open quote. And no wonder, for even Satan himself disguises himself as an angel of light. Close quote. The esoteric symbol to present Lucifer is traditionally the lightning bolt. This is referencing Jesus' words in Luke chapter 10 verse 18, where he says, quote, "And I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." End quote. It is not confirmed how many people belong to the Illuminati. According to a credible ex-Illuminati member known as Savali, they make up approximately 1% of the population. They consist of 13 bloodlines. That is to say, you are either born into the order or you're not. So if you hear Lady Gaga is the Illuminati, it is unlikely that she is in the bloodline and actually a part of the Illuminati order. It is more likely the case she has been recruited by them to promote their agenda and help them indoctrinate the next generation. Lady Gaga is just one of the many music artists who have openly sold their soul to the industry in exchange for fame and fortune, hence why her debut album is titled The Fame Monster. The 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati make up the world's elite. They are the head of the banking systems. They are the think tanks of the world, the political groups, the educational groups. They own all mainstream media channels, and their main agenda is simple: world domination, commonly called the New World Order. They want one global village of which they control. They see us, the general public, the masses, as nothing more than a bewildered herd or cattle. Their nickname for us, the people, is the sheeple. The Rockefellers are one of the more commonly known Illuminati families, and David Rockefeller, currently the patriarch of the Rockefeller family, is an American banker and philanthropist. Not just any American banker, mind you. He, along with the Rothschilds, another Illuminati bloodline, between these two families own the entire financial banking system and thus solely control the Federal Reserve, the Rockefellers controlling America and the Rothschilds covering the finances and banks in Europe. David Rockefeller is also the founder of the Council of Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. Both of these political groups basically get together to discuss foreign policy and ultimately are responsible for deciding the future of the world, which again and again the same theme emerges, a new world order, and he makes no secret of this. David Rockefeller is quoted in his book Memoirs as saying, quote, "Some even believe we are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalists, and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure, one world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I'm proud of it." Okay, so let's move on and look at the esoteric symbols the Illuminati use to represent themselves and how they are very much present in today's culture. One of the main symbols is the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, which is referencing that we are under constant surveillance. The all-seeing eye of Lucifer is sometimes known as the Eye of Providence, which is commonly found on the $1 bill.